The first moments after death. Few mysteries have fascinated humanity more than death itself. While no one truly knows what happens beyond it, science has revealed surprising details about what occurs immediately afterward. The body begins shutting down system by system. Electrical activity fades. Cells lose access to oxygen. Biological processes that worked continuously for decades start to fail. But here's what makes it unsettling. For a brief period, some parts of the body remain active even after clinical death. Certain cells continue functioning. Chemical signals continue moving. The transition between life and death is not always an instant event but a process. Humans evolved to avoid thinking about this reality because survival depends on focusing on life. Yet witnessing the exact moment the body crosses that invisible boundary would reveal one of the most profound transformations in existence. It is a sight every human will eventually experience, yet none were ever meant to truly see. Inside the human body, imagine being shrunk to microscopic size and traveling through your own bloodstream. It would not resemble the clean diagrams shown in textbooks. Instead, it would look like a chaotic biological storm. Red blood cells crash through vessels like rushing traffic. White blood cells hunt invaders with relentless efficiency. Millions of chemical reactions explode into action every second just to keep you alive. This is where it gets strange. Your body is constantly destroying old cells and replacing them with new ones. Tiny battles happen non-stop without your awareness. Some cells sacrifice themselves for the survival of others. Others search for damaged tissue and repair it before problems spread. The human body feels familiar from the outside, but seeing it from within would reveal a world more complex than many cities. Every moment of life depends on systems operating at a scale our eyes were never meant to witness. The bottom of the ocean. Almost everything humans see happens within a tiny layer near the surface, but far below lies a world our eyes were never designed to witness. Sunlight disappears completely, pressure becomes hundreds of times greater than at sea level, and strange creatures drift through total darkness. Some fish have transparent heads, others carry glowing organs that look like floating lanterns. Giant squid move silently through the black water while predators use light to lure prey into deadly traps. If a human suddenly appeared here without protection, death would come almost instantly from crushing pressure alone. But the real reason this place feels so disturbing is that it looks less like Earth and more like an alien planet hidden beneath our feet. Millions of years of evolution produced animals that rarely encounter sunlight, creating forms so bizarre they seem impossible. The deeper scientists explore, the more strange life they discover waiting in darkness that humans were never meant to see. A nuclear explosion up close. Most people only know nuclear explosions through videos, but standing close enough to actually see one would be the last thing your eyes ever witness. The first flash is so bright it can cause blindness from miles away. Temperatures near the center briefly become hotter than the surface of the sun. Buildings vanish. Shadows burn into concrete. The shockwave races outward faster than most people can comprehend. But here's the problem. The destruction does not end with the explosion itself. Invisible radiation spreads through the environment, damaging cells long after the blast is gone. Survivors of nuclear attacks described seeing entire city blocks transformed into landscapes that looked unreal. Streets disappeared beneath fire and debris. Human minds struggle to process destruction on that scale because nothing in normal life prepares us for it. It is a glimpse of energy so extreme that nature itself seems to break apart before your eyes. The edge of a black hole. Few things in existence are more terrifying than a black hole. These objects contain so much gravity that not even light can escape once it crosses a boundary called the event horizon. From a distance, a black hole may appear calm, but approaching one would reveal a nightmare of distorted reality. Gravity becomes so powerful that time itself slows down. Light bends into impossible shapes. Entire stars can be ripped apart into streams of glowing matter. The real danger is something called spaghettification. As gravity pulls harder on one end of your body than the other, you would be stretched into an impossibly thin line. Long before reaching the center, the laws of everyday experience completely collapse. A black hole is not just a dangerous object. It is a region where reality behaves in ways the human brain was never evolved to comprehend. The moment a star dies, stars appear permanent from Earth, yet every star eventually reaches the end of its life. When massive stars die, they can explode in supernovas so powerful they briefly outshine entire galaxies. If humans could safely witness one nearby, the sight would be unforgettable. A single star suddenly erupts with unimaginable energy, throwing matter across space at millions of kilometers per hour. Elements that eventually become planets, oceans, and even human bodies are forged during these violent deaths. But here's what makes it truly unsettling. The atoms inside your bones were likely created by stars that exploded billions of years ago. Every person is literally made from the remains of ancient cosmic catastrophes. Watching a star die would not simply reveal destruction. It would reveal the origin of life itself. The universe creates new worlds by first tearing old ones apart. A planet without life. Humans have spent their entire existence surrounded by signs of life. Birds sing, trees grow, insects move through the air. Even empty places contain living organisms, but but imagine standing on a completely lifeless world. No plants, no animals, no microbes, nothing. The silence alone would feel unnatural. Every landscape would seem frozen in time. Mountains would stand untouched for millions of years. Rivers might carve through rock, yet no living thing would ever drink from them. Scientists search for these worlds because they help explain how rare life might actually be. But here is the unsettling possibility. The universe contains billions of planets and many may be completely empty forever. Seeing one firsthand would force humans to confront a disturbing question. Is life common throughout the cosmos, or is Earth one of the few exceptions in an endless sea of lifeless worlds? The true face of space. Looking up at the night sky feels peaceful, but seeing space directly without the protection of Earth's atmosphere is something humans were never built for. Movies often show colorful galaxies and glowing stars, yet real space is overwhelmingly dark. The emptiness stretches in every direction with almost nothing to focus on. Astronauts have described the experience as both beautiful and unsettling because there are no familiar landmarks, no horizon, and no sense of up or down. One wrong move could leave a person drifting endlessly through a silent void. The real danger is how small Earth suddenly appears. Entire continents shrink into a fragile blue sphere floating alone in darkness. For many astronauts, this view permanently changes how they think about humanity. Space reveals a reality that our brains were never designed to fully understand. It exposes just how tiny and isolated human civilization really is.